can never take me off the throne. I'm a warrior, the battlefield's my home. I die for the cause that I fight for. I stay ready, prepare for war. You can't stop the pressure. I'm on another level. You can't stop the pressure. Spill the blood of a devil. Yeah, it's the rise. Yeah, it's the rise. Yeah, you can't stop the pressure. Nah.
A beautiful night for what should be a memorable game. And if you told us at the start of the season the Winnipeg Blue Bombers would be sitting here in Week 5 unbeaten, there would have been no surprises. The BC Lions, meanwhile, have taken the league by storm. 2 unbeaten teams, both with statements to make, as we take you to the West Coast a little bit later. But first, right now, let's welcome you inside the CFL on TSN Studios. And guys, big games require bigger panel hosts. So
like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm filling in for Kate Burnett. She promised me, Maddie, there would be food, barbecue. I hope you're cooking.
You got that checked out.
That's right. Along with Milt Stiegel, Matt Dunnigan, Davis Sanchez. Guys, it is the Blue Bombers at 4-0 against the BC Lions at 3-0. Guys, Davis, you told me I was easier on the eyes than Kate, so we'll start with you. What are you most looking forward to in this game?
Look, this is Winnipeg's built a legacy. They're building something special, what they've done the last couple of years. And BC, from a new owner to a new quarterback, they're building something. Sometimes games are just big enough where there's no more talking. I just want to see kick this thing off and let's go.
Yeah, I love what the young quarterback said. He says, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have what we want. And I say, want some, get some. Bad enough, take some. And tonight's their opportunity to go after, for the first time this year of many, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the defending Grey Cup champions.
Richie Hall has been a coach since 1994. He's seen every single offense, every single type of quarterback, but he's going to have a special game plan to stop this young man tonight. He's played well in those first 3 games. Let's see if he can do it in his 4th.
Yeah, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers absolutely are the big dogs of the CFL. The BC Lions, they are still small cats. They will try to grow up tonight. 2 unbeaten teams will take you to BC Place when we come back.
Nathan Rourke, what a great story.
Down the left sideline, showing off the speed. Will he score? He will. Kid Canada is off and running.
Back-to-back Grey Cup champion and undefeated Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
A look to the end zone, it's caught, and it's a touchdown, Winnipeg. Come on!
That is the game of the week, absolutely.
And Blake Price have the call.
A beautiful Saturday in Vancouver, playing host to the most anticipated matchup of this young CFL season. It's the back-to-back Grey Cup champs, the 4-0 Winnipeg Blue Bombers, visiting the new contenders on the block, Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions. And it is a BC Place battle of the unbeatens. Thank you very much for joining us. This is exciting.
It is, Dustin. I feel like a microphone should drop down between us right now. We're standing in the middle of the ring. This is the main event, a heavyweight bout between 2 unbeaten quarterbacks. In the orange corner, with a 3-0 record, standing 6'2", 209 pounds, from Oakville, Ontario, the challenger, Kid Canada, Nathan Rourke. In the blue corner, the 2-time defending champion, standing 6'1", 218 pounds, out of Cincinnati, the MOP, Zach Collaros. Round 1 coming up.
Oh, we got a lot on the go. It's time. Here we go. Let's see. BC Lions and Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Neither team has lost yet this season. The Bombers won the toss and elected to take the football to get this game going. And we are underway in Vancouver. Janarian Grant takes it just inside his own 15. Near side of the field and an opportunity for some fireworks early. Grant down to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, and he's going to take it all the way home to start the football game. Get out of here. Janarian Grant untouched for 97 and a touchdown.
Woo! Oh, wow. What a start to this game. The quarterbacks haven't even entered the field yet. And we've got 6 on the board. What a run. And there's some blocking down the field as well. Wide side return. And the speed of Janarian Grant down the sideline catches that cover team for the BC Lions. Setting their alarm a little late. It's game time.
If it's a heavyweight battle, the first blow has just been dealt in the opening round.
Wow. Early knockdown. Got to get up off the mat now if you're the BC Lions.
Second time this season we had a kick return to start a game. Leggio out to make it 7-0. And he knocks it right through. And Winnipeg, 4-0 on the season, could not have asked for a better start here at BC Place.
You know, every time Janarian Grant touches the football, there's the potential of this. He's got such great breakaway speed. We're going to see a couple of them. Lucky Whitehead for the Lions has the same type of top-end breakaway speed. But man, he's untouched. Good blocking at the point of attack to get him to the wide field, and then away he goes. Zach Collaros doesn't even get on the field. They're up 7-0.
Hey, as a quarterback, it's your job to provide the offense, but you get to stand on the sidelines and watch one of the best returners in the league give your team a huge start here on the road. BC Lions, we saw the first couple of games of the season. They had things on cruise control, faced some adversity last week, and now find themselves down before Rourke has even had an opportunity to touch the football. Five kick return TDs this season, and we are only in week 5. That's exciting.
Well, a big part of the Canadian Football League is the return game, the special teams, punt returns, kickoff returns. The wide field gives these world-class athletes a chance to showcase their talents. And wow, Janarian Grant got this one out of the gate going.
BC Lions now with an opportunity to respond on their own. Back to the 30, up to the 40, and no further on the opening turn of the game for the Lions. And a look at that man, Nathan Rourke.
4-1 in his career, 3-0 this year. 1,000 yards passing, 9 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions, both last week against the Ottawa Red Blacks. But he had a real bounce back second half after the second interception. But Nathan Rourke off to just a remarkable start.
83.8% completion rate in his first 3 games, highest 3-game stretch in league history. He'll hand it off to his running back, James Butler, who's having a sensational start to the year as well. Let's take a look at this BC offense presented to you by Expedia.
Yeah, it's going to be a real challenge for Joel Figueroa and Kent Perkins, the 2 tackles. They're up against Jackson Jeffcoat, Willie Jefferson. That's always a tough task. This will be their greatest test. And how about Keon Hatcher, a guy that came into the league last year with Nathan Rourke, probably took a lot of reps with Rourke as the backup quarterback and a new receiver to the team. They're clicking early.
2nd and 7. Rourke has a completion, and that will go for a first down to Dominic Grimes. That's his league-leading 10th second down reception of the season.
Of course, no Brian Burnham. He's still out for a little bit due to injury with ribs, and this offense continues to roll, which is remarkable, but they're spreading the ball around. To mention Keon Hatcher and Dominic Grimes, and don't forget Lucky Whitehead in this lineup.
Lucky Whitehead, no touchdowns yet on the season. He'd love one against the opponent here this evening. Rourke gets it to his running back, bounces loose, and will be ruled incomplete after it was scooped up there by Casey Sales.
2nd and 10.
This was well covered. This is clearly, that's clearly incomplete, but that was Diedrich Nichols that jumped that little flare route. James Butler has been so involved in the offense. Don't be surprised to see them man up him, make sure they get a body on him. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to want to check him.
Over 300 yards of total offense on the season for Butler. Stands in there to the right of Rourke. Rourke, near side, he's got a completion for another first down to Hatcher. So Hatcher and Rhymes coming up big on second down. This one, 13 for Hatcher.
Yeah, accuracy on this throw from the far hash. It's still, even with the hash marks moved in a little tighter, it's still a long throw that you need to be on time and accurate with in double coverage. And Nathan Rourke keeps it away from the Bomber defenders. Look at that accuracy.
Perfect throw. Hatcher now over 300 yards on the season after that huge game last week. Rourke again quickly, a completion, and that'll take it down inside the 40 as we take a look at this Bombers defense.
Defense that ranks first in the Canadian Football League after 4 weeks in points allowed. And up front, Jeffcoat and Jefferson. Jefferson with an interception for a touchdown last week. Kyrie Wilson is out of the lineup tonight. Malik Clements will take his spot in the linebacking core. And back in the back end, Winston Rose pick 6 against Toronto in that win last week.
Rhymes with a couple of catches for 15 yards. 3 receivers to the left for Rourke. Looks to the right, throws to the right. And that ball was timed perfectly, and that'll go for a first down to Lucky Whitehead.
There's Lucky Whitehead getting involved on that slant route, man, and inside. Pretty good coverage, but when the ball was thrown with inside leverage like this to Lucky Whitehead, it's almost impossible to defend. Mary Houston couldn't be in better position. Just got blocked out by the receiver.
Rourke is 4 of 5 for 36 yards on this drive. Works first and 10 on the Winnipeg 30 against the Bombers defense that's given up the most passing yards per game in the league. Rourke looking for more, and it's going to be intercepted. Taken away just inside the 30. Jackson Jeffcoat comes up with it. And the Bombers defense does what they've done all season, and that is make big plays at big moments in a football game. And it's Jeffcoat dropping back, stepping in and taking it away. Start a journey to $1 million better than getting one to start a football game.
Have the whole game to get number 2. Let's go.
Bombers offense steps on the field for the first time. They've got a return touchdown already and a big play by their defense already, which has given them a 7-0 lead.
Zach Collaros, outstanding win-loss record as the starting quarterback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. All he does is win games. This is win championships, back-to-back championships. And boy, we've been talking a lot about Kid Canada here in BC, across the league. Zach Collaros is still the king of the hill.
8-yard pickup on first down to Oliveira. His longest carry of the season was 10. They're going to feed him again, and this time with a good second effort. He's got what he needs for a first down. Let's take a look at the Winnipeg offense.
Yeah, I didn't highlight any of the offensive line because I think collectively they just want to do better in the run game. They just want to get that run game going, get the balance in the offense back like they had the last couple of years, and that's been a little bit slow out of the gate. Their go-to guy is surprising. Dalton Schoen has become big play receiver. No Dembski in the lineup tonight. O'Leary Orange will play for him.
Schoen was a walk-on at Kansas State. Now he's here with the Bombers. Collaros underneath. Completion, and that'll be awfully close to another first down as he gets it to Wolotarski and gives us time to take a look at the BC defense.
Tim Bonner up front. Second-year BC Lion. Couple of sacks on the season for him. Gets a good push in the middle. They're going to need it against Zach Collaros and his ability to escape. Bolacombo leads the team in defensive plays with 21 after 3 games. And TJ Lee got out of the gate. He's a leader back there in the back end, and he got out of the gate in game 1 with 2 picks.
Second and short. Drew Brown into the game to take care of business, and that is what he does as the ball creeps towards the BC Lions 50-yard line.
really one of the topics of discussion with all the attention on Nathan Rourke and all his, and justifiably so. We haven't really talked about the BC defense that has improved tremendously from last year. I mean, they have pretty much every major category have improved under Ryan Phillips, the defensive coordinator, who started to midway through last year, really had the job but didn't have the title at the time.
Allowing just 16.3 points per game is this defense. Ellingson on a deeper shot and he hauls it in. Fingertips. Got the job done there, and a big pickup for Greg Ellingson.
Yeah, they got him inside to run the corner route. He catches the back half of the ball here. This is a big catch. Those gloves working well for Ellingson on this corner route. Working on Luchez Purifoy. He's got the separation, and then watch him catch the back half of the ball. Reaches out for a 28-yard gain and knocking on the door of the red zone.
Polaris, 2 of 2 for 37 yards. He'll hand it off to Augustine, stays on his feet. Made one man miss, then was wrapped up just before he could get to that BC 20.
Stanley Bryant wasn't happy with himself, and this offensive line has been dominant through the last couple of seasons, championship seasons. Saw him get up and just shake his head. They take pride in the run game and being those road graders up front. Did it for 2 years with Andrew Harris behind him. Now they want to get Grady Oliveira and Johnny Augustine going.
Right, 3-time most outstanding lineman in the CFL. Only guy to do that. 2nd and 7. And we've got a whistle as Polaris steps back.
Wow, Drew Wolotarski was wide
Procedure.
open.
Winnipeg number 53. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That's the veteran, Pat Neufeld.
A little early movement there, because I'm not sure if the Lion defender saw that it was a penalty and the play stopped, so he stopped. But Wolotarski was wide open, and that's exactly where Zach Collaros was looking. But no play, 2nd, a little more than 10.
Crowd here at BC Place trying to get behind this Lions defense. 7th play of the drive for Collaros. Steps back in the pocket, and he's got a completion down inside the 15. Back to Greg Ellingson again.
Lions drop off into a zone with 3-man pressure, wanting to force Zach Collaros to throw it into coverage. But watch how he freezes the coverage in the zone defense. See, stop it there, guys. He started out looking that way and then flips his head around. He knows that Ellingson's going to be sitting in that hole in the curl route. Drops it right to him.
14 yards to Ellingson. He's now over 300 on the season. 3 receivers to the left for Collaros. They're going to bring some pressure. Collaros gets it away in time towards the corner. And it's caught for a touchdown. What a play on the far side of the field by Dalton Schoen as he went down and got it.
Well, and a big play by Zach Collaros to throw it around the rush. There was a free man off the edge for the Lions. They did decide to come with some pressure from this side. Collaros sees it. Now he's got to get rid of it and throw it around that rush with the helmet right in his chest. He puts it outside so Dalton Schoen can go and get it, and he does just that. Bombers with a big early lead.
2nd touchdown of the year for Schoen, working there against TJ Lee. And what a start for Winnipeg. All 3 facets of the game. Special teams touchdown, offensive touchdown, defensive interception, and another extra point to cap off an 8-play, 75-yard drive, and a perfect start to the game for that man. Zach Collaros, 4 of 4 for 63 yards on the drive that ends in the hands of Dalton Schoen.
Corner route here from Dalton Schoen on a veteran in TJ Lee, and TJ Lee gets caught looking back in the backfield a little bit, and his feet like they're in sand. He reaches out to try and get a jam, but Dalton Schoen goes right past that jam, and he was well past 5 yards. It was almost like TJ Lee was looking to switch with one of his teammates. There was no switch, and then he got in a chase position, but You can bet that TJ Lee will bounce back from that one.
A nicely thrown ball by his quarterback.
Beautiful.
As well for Sean.
Around the rush.
Dropped it right in there.
Yeah, around the rush.
Winnipeg, an excellent start on the road, looking to go to 5-0. They did that in 2019 as well. Shai Ross on the return, and he has nowhere to go. Gets it back up to about the 35-yard line. If there's one offense that can overcome a 14-point deficit, it's likely this one.
By the Bombers, and their second touchdown because of the interception from Jackson Jeffcoat, who's at the right of your screen there. You're going to step up the field 3 steps and then drop underneath that crossing route. There is no way that Nathan Rourke knew that a defensive end the size of Jackson Jeffcoat was going to drop into coverage, but Richie Hall will do that.
Second interception of the career for Jeffcoat. They'll hand it off to Butler, pushes it ahead up the middle just for a short gain on first down 3 yards, and that'll set up a 2nd and 7 for Rourke.
You know, the two bookends, Willie Jefferson, Jackson Jeffcoat. Jefferson got it going last week with a pick 6 at home, and Jackson Jeffcoat off to a bit of a slow start by his standards. We're still looking for a sack, his first sack of the season, getting some pressures. But the two are awful tough to block. So we'll watch the matchup between Figueroa, Perkins, Jefferson, and Jeffcoat.
2nd and 7 for Rourke. Near side, and that one falls incomplete. He was looking for Pearson. Would have had enough for a first down. Looked like Pearson had a crack at that one and could not haul it in.
Josh Pearson getting a chance to play with Burnham out as well. And Rourke puts it in the window. Can't throw it much better than that. You can see the defenders there, and Pearson's just got to squeeze the rock.
Lintoff will kick it away to Grant, who took his first opportunity back all the way. Takes this one at the 20. Grant cuts it back up the middle, and you heard the crowd kind of get a little excited there. Maybe I was guilty of it as well. Can't give that guy any space. To Vancouver, everyone. Let's send it down to Blake Price. He's with Brian Burnham.
Brian, almost a week in hospital with the punctured lung and the broken ribs. Where are you at right now? Give us a health update.
I'm feeling great. I mean, obviously, I've got a couple weeks to go, but my lung is healthy. My ribs are on their way to healing up, and I'm feeling good. I'm up and around. I'm jogging. So it just feels good to be back with my guys.
Better seats for this game than the last time when you had the live tweet from the hospital bed. What was that like for you?
It was tough. I wasn't expecting to be in the hospital that long, but they wanted to be safe, and unfortunately I had to stay. So it was hard watching. A lot of emotions, and just not being able to be there and support them. I would love to be out there, but at least I'm on the sideline. I'm able to support the guys. So it feels good to be out of there. I just want a huge shout out to the doctors and all the nurses that took care of me, man. They're amazing people.
Well said. Thanks for this.
I appreciate it. No problem.
Interesting story being in hospital for that long on a play that really didn't look like something that could injure you as severe as that was.
Sometimes that happens, and look forward to getting Brian Burnham, maybe the best hands in the game the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, the guy is Golden Glove Award winner in the Canadian Football League over and over again. That's not an award, actually, but if there was one, he'd be the guy.
Back to Augustine after he picked up 11 on that last carry. And pretty hard work here to take the ball outside the Winnipeg 50. That's his 3rd carry of the game. Put him up to about 20 yards.
Yeah, clearly Buck Pierce is really going to be stubborn on the run tonight and get the offensive line driving off. Now, there was some pretty vicious blocking up front from the offensive line against, it looked like Boom Gwachum. One of those old linemen got away with hands to the face, but Buck Pierce is committed to the run tonight, at least so far, especially with the lead.
BC allowing just 61 yards per game on the ground, mind you, and a couple of those the opposition's been in passing situations because they've been down by so much. Go back to Augustine again, and that's a first down right up the middle. So Winnipeg checking off a lot of boxes here early in this football game.
Yeah, you know, when you come in and you're playing against a defense that ranked 3rd in the league with 10 sacks, and you got off to a real good start with pressure on the quarterback in their first 3 games, the Lions defense, which turned into a tie for first place in interceptions with six in the back end. Pressure will cause the interceptions. What do you do to counter that great pass rush? Attack them with the run game.
First and 10 on the BC 52. They're going to hand it off again, and a lot of room all the way up the far side of the field as they keep this ball moving. Greg McCray getting involved.
Big Stanley Bryant's going to pull out of there too. He's the left tackle, and fly sweeps coming around. Here they come around the edge. Watch Big 66 get out in front. He wants to find somebody to hit and forces TJ Lee to take a cab around him to get involved in the tackle. Sometimes those big guys don't need to touch anybody. They just need to be out there.
Forces you around them,
and then DBs have to take the long way to get around.
McCray involved, 22 yards on the pickup for McCray. Augustine's got 4 carries for 28. And Oliveira 2 carries for 11. As the Blue Bombers doing some serious damage on the ground here. Macombo, with his arm being held, walking off the field in clear pain. Tough start to the year for Lacombo. First and 10 for the Bombers on the BC 30. Augustine on the pitch from Kalara's far side of the field. Augustine's got some room. He's going to take it down the sideline, and then eventually TJ Lee will finish him off.
Bel Air Direct and the CFL want you to enjoy the game's simple.
Boom Guachum or Tim Bonner, guys on that defensive line that got off to such a great start for BC.
Kalara's now working from the line 11. Completion. Ellingson hauls it in down inside the 5. He was wrapped up there by Marcus Sales. And that'll take the Bombers a little bit closer.
Johnny Augustine with success. What happens? Linebackers get up tighter. Safeties get up tighter. They want to help in the run game, so they get up tight, little fake, boom, right over the top. A little curl.
Augustine again, right up the middle. And he will be stopped short by the Lions defense.
Well, different script now that the BC Lions are going to have to try and manage. I mean, if the Bombers finish this and get up 21-0, the Lions have always gotten in the first 3 games out to good starts. I mean, good offensive drives to start putting 6 or 7 on the board right out of the gate, get the lead, and then have the other teams have to press to try and catch up. Tonight, the script is switched. Let's see what they got.
Drew Brown into the game to try to finish off this drive for the Bombers. He'll keep it. He will push ahead. And is he in? Yes! Delayed signal, but Drew Brown finishes it off. And the defending Grey Cup champions delivering a statement here against the 3-0 Lions.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. And the statement is, if you want to be the big dog on the porch, you got to come through us to get there. All the talk about the great start for the Lions, and this game is far from over. We got 3 quarters to go, but the Lions have a hole to climb out of here. A lot of talk about their great start, and this team is much improved from a year ago with a hot quarterback out of the gate. Now he's got a lot of work to do.
The previous...
Drew Brown has a role on this club, obviously, steps in and takes care of business. Leggio out now to make it a 21-point lead at the end of the first quarter. And I know Bombers fans might disagree, but I don't think anybody saw this start coming. as Winnipeg looking good early. Kolaris, Grant, Ellingson, Jeffcoat, Drew Brown, showing everybody involved for the Bombers here early. Well, this much-anticipated battle of the unbeatens has been lopsided to start. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers dominating pretty much every aspect of this football game.
Nathan Rourke only had 9 plays in the first quarter because of the ball possession, the run game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Probably their best first quarter running the football all season long. Zach Kolaris looks great and in great control in the huddle. And this defense making plays. Jackson Jeffcoat with the interception. So, I think people would probably be a little bit surprised, not because they're ahead, because they are defending champs and they're the king of the hill, but because of the way they've won to get here. I mean, a missed extra point against Toronto, close games to start in Ottawa, back-to-back with, wins with 19 points to get out to 21-0 lead. I think that's what's surprising.
Second quarter is underway. It's Shai Ross. Ross gets it back to the 35 before he is wrapped up and taken down. And Rourke will try to get this offense on track. 4 of 7 for 36 yards in the first quarter for Rourke.
Now, Rourke struggled against Ottawa with a couple of interceptions. He also had a fumble and then got it together, regrouped, didn't let it phase him, completed 91% of his passes, a 149 quarterback rating and 208 yards to win that game. As he had that same bounce back here. Not that it's been his fault. He's only had 9 plays.
Facing more adversity now. There's a flag on the field. He's got a completion as he goes to Pearson. We'll pick up this call.
Offside, BC number 19. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, that's not going to help things. Dominique Grimes jumping the gun. Grimes with a couple of catches in this game. Nice start this year for Rick Campbell. 5-9 in his career coaching against Winnipeg. Rourke, 1st and 15, has a completion down inside the 45, out to almost the 50. A flag in the backfield, and this looks like it might be coming back as well.
And Javon Catoy looked like he was the guilty party, at least by his body language.
In a game that has started like this, the last thing you want to do is back yourself up with penalties.
BC number 59, 15-yard penalty.
As Kent still first off the edge. Catoy ended up getting out of the backfield. I was wondering if he chipped somebody, but it was on Kent Perkins. Catoy made the catch, and it's like they were going to get out of that 1st and 15, but now 1st and more than 15.
1st and a whole bunch here for Rourke. 30 to be exact. All the way back to his own 17. Has some time. Drops it off underneath to Butler. Made one man miss a second one, and then eventually Bombers 3 and 4 are there to wrap him up. Dietrich Nichols leading the way after a 9-yard pickup.
You take a look at the Lions and their slow start here in this game, and you look at their rankings coming into tonight. 45.7 points per game and almost 500 yards of offense every game. 1st in the league in all those key categories. This is the championship defense.
Rourke looking down the field, and he's got a completion outside the 50. What a catch, Dominique Grimes.
Really was for him to have that body control, and at the very last second he turns to get in position to make the catch. Nathan Rourke's just going to put it up with a lot of air under it to let his receiver try and win a jump ball outside, but it was just that balance and the back pedal. Switch the hips around, back pedal 3 or 4 more steps. And then a 37-yard catch by Dominic Rhymes, but now it looks like there's going to be a challenge from Michael O'Shea.
Winnipeg is challenging the previous play for offensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
So was there a push-off from Rhymes to open himself up? We'll find out when we return. Third challenge of the year from O'Shea.
Well, you know, there was some hand fighting early. There was clearly Dominic Rhymes put his hands on the back of Rose, but I think Rose was in good position to make a play and missed it.
After review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. Winnipeg, by losing his challenge, has lost the timeout. First down.
Big play from Rhymes stands, and the BC Lions are in business here. They work on the Winnipeg 48. Works at 81 yards passing. Takes the handoff to Butler, turns, now drops it back off to his running back. And Butler, great jump cut, makes a couple of bodies miss. And a nice chunk on first down for Butler, the dual threat out of the backfield for BC.
Yeah, 4 TDs in the first game of the season against Edmonton. The offensive player of the week, 2 rushing, 2 receiving. Very good out of the backfield, has 15 catches. That'll be add to his total right here, and then some pretty nice moves in the open field.
Lions are 4 of 5 on second down so far in this game. 2nd and 3 is what they face here. 3 receivers to the right for Rourke. Looks that way, has a little bit of time. Nowhere to go, and they'll take him down. Willie Jefferson eventually tracks down Rourke. For Jefferson, his 2nd sack of the season.
He's in that stand-up position often because it takes away a passing lane as he gets up the field. Joel Figueroa, we said we'd watch this matchup. He gets some help from David Mackey, the fullback, but you know, I'm going to give an assist here to the coverage of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers secondary because Nathan Rourke had time initially, but he wasn't comfortable with what he saw down the field.
Lions set to kick this away, looking for that field position. Flintoff. High kick, end over end. Grant slides underneath it at his own 15. Grant right up the middle. Stays on his feet momentarily, and then he'll be tracked down just outside his own 25. Zach Collaros, 5 of 5 for 71 yards and a touchdown. So far, he's got a 21-point lead, and he'll have the ball next. CFL on TSN kicks off Week 6 action with a West versus East Division matchup between the Elks and Alouettes. Tune in for Thursday Night Football presented by 7-Eleven at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and exclusive TSN coverage all weekend long.
And don't forget, we'll be out on the East Coast, touchdown Atlantic, Rough Riders versus the Argos.
Looks like you guys are going to have a good time.
Oh, man, I can't wait to go out and visit out in the East Coast.
He'll get it to McRae, and he's held on to by TJ Lee, made sure he never had anywhere to go.
Yeah, I told you that TJ Lee would bounce back. That's a big tackle. Looks like Vladeck is in for Bolacumbo right now, the UBC. Take a look at how Bolacumbo got hurt. They got him on an ice pack. This was earlier in the game. Combo grabs that elbow.
Vladeck, the 22nd overall pick in the 2021 draft.
Blitz.
Collaros near side. That pass thrown behind the intended target. Dalton Schoen, first incompletion of the game for Collaros.
And first time Ryan Phillips decided to send the house and see if they could make the adjustment. And that's exactly why he's fired up, because he wanted to get some pressure and not just sit back. You sit back on a veteran quarterback like Zach Collaros, he's going to pick you apart. He'll just be like a surgeon, just operating on open heart surgery to just against that defense. So they go after him and force the incompletion.
Leggio sets a punt. from his own 15. 44-yard kick taken by Ross, wrapped up immediately. Nowhere to go on the play. Nick Howlett down there with the tackle.
So Nathan Rourke is trying to climb his way back into this. There's no 21-point play, so it's one play at a time. Lots of time, obviously, in this game. He's 7 of 10, so he's completing 7%. So Jordan Maksimic, the offensive coordinator, stick with the game plan here. You know that, and that includes James Butler, making sure he's involved, get the run game, don't abandon that. 3 scores, really nothing in the Canadian Football League. That can come back from that in a heartbeat, although this is the Bomber defense.
They start on their own 48. Near side Whitehead, and it falls incomplete. Nick Taylor in coverage against Lucky Whitehead.
One thing that Jackson, Jeffcoat, and Jefferson will do to good quarterback, like talking about veteran quarterbacks, is just that intimidation factor. They get upfield with their hands up, and you've got to try and look around those hands, and it's very distracting to where the quarterback's eyes are going to come down away from the coverage and look right at the pass rush. Even if they don't get there, it still affect the accuracy of the throws.
2nd and 10 now. And that is batted away as he tried to look down the near side of the field. To Jefferson once again, all 6'7" of them in the face of Rourke.
6'7", and then that great reach, and it was the reach that gets him home this time. They'll move him around too, so Nathan Rourke has got to keep his eyes down the field, but this time they don't have him on the end. Usually we see him on the end in that stand-up. This time they put him down in the 3-point stance in a defensive tackle. He gets working on a guard, hands up, and just knocks that ball right out of the air.
Bombers defense, as expected, has come to play. Grant trying to track this one down, and that flies all the way out of bounds. And that kick out of bounds.
Good field position for Winnipeg, yeah.
Outside the 15, and you're right, good field position coming up for the Bombers. Offense and defense taking care of business for the visitors here on a Saturday in Vancouver. One week from tonight, touchdown Atlantic. Riders and Argos. Smile on your face every time this pops up, doesn't it? Look at that setup.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Down in Wolfville. And about an hour out of Halifax. As mentioned last night with Ron, I think we're going to have a little lobster, a little East Coast lobster over there.
Colares has some time here. Finds Oliveira. He breaks one tackle, but he was held on to long enough that the rest of the Lions were able to get there after a gain of 6 yards.
Josh Wood's in the game now as well. One of the spares on defense for BC to try and see on this 2nd down is Ryan Phillips gonna send him. UCLA product.
Combo left the game earlier, in the room now. Have to think a return is probably unlikely. Colares 2nd and 4. Some pressure, they almost got to him, but he's got a completion to Ellingson, and it's down the field for a 1st down.
We're really working combination routes over on that short side. Ellingson and Dalton Schoen working together to try and just have the secondary for the Lions just hesitate a little bit. There's Ellingson and Schoen's a second arrow. And watch how they sort of slide together, and then combination routes here. They'll lean to the outside and then bring him back over the middle.
18 that time for Ellingson. He's got 68 in the game. They'll hand it off Oliveira right up the middle. Look at the push on the rest of the line. And that will give them almost enough for a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Patty Neufeld, this group up front, they just take off here and set it up. Jamarcus Hardrick, step up, get the corner. When those offensive linemen can get off the ball and then turn sideways, they basically block any pursuit angles by the linebackers. gives Augustine a nice hole up the middle. Best game so far this season by the O-line in the run game.
They're almost at 100 yards already, and just over 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Brown follows the big boys to the land of a first down. Gets that ball up to the 40. Lions defense been able to get that ball back one time so far. Outside of that, Bombers have been marching right now.
Well, it's first down success. I mean, that's really what it is. It's a run game that they're really struggling trying to stop. That'll be the halftime adjustments made by the BC Lion defense. Ryan Phillips and Rick Campbell will get in there and say, hey, we got to take gap control. Sometimes you can blitz to stop the run. Whatever it takes, because that success on first down is the reason.
Collaros looking downfield, flag as he lets it go, and it does fall incomplete. And that looks like it'll be against the Bombers.
Legal block hands to the face, Winnipeg number 51. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
I mentioned that early on. I think it was Jamarcus Hardrick early on that got away with one where his hands got up and high, and that time clearly up in the chin. It was David Menard he got that time.
Hardrick starting his career 2014 here with the BC Lions. Played 12 games that season. One more stop along the way until he settled in with the Bombers. On the BC 50, Collaros turns, hands it off, ball pops out. Augustine tries to get it back. Looks like he does, but they will sort this thing out at midfield.
This is one where it's so difficult for the officials. I mean, they're fighting with well beyond when the play is stopped. The players, two players in this case, will always continue to fight to get it back and try and get enough evidence. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get enough evidence, like enough arm coverage of the football to persuade the refs to go their way. And let's see the exchange here and see what happened on this one. It's just sort of a draw play where Zach Collaros spun around. I think Augustine really had the handle from the beginning.
Tim Bonner blew that up. Bonner got through there quickly and caused an issue for sure. 2nd and 23 now. Collaros. 3-man pressure. Finds Schoen. Takes it down inside the 40 and will get them back into field goal range with a 21-point lead.
Yeah, such a smart play. That's such a smart play by Zach Collaros. That's just winning football. Don't force it. You've got a long way to go to get a new set of downs, but an intermediate type throw gets you in field goal range and able to add to the score if you make it. So just a heads up smart play by a veteran quarterback.
Leggio will come out. He is 10 of 10 on the season. Guy on the other side, Sean White, also perfect on the year. This will be just beyond his longest kick of the year. Right on it, 45 yards from the right hash. And that one has enough. And Winnipeg's lead goes to 24 with 3:46 on the clock. Tough start for Rourke. Here's what he had to say about facing this Bombers defense.
They just do so many things, and they let their players, be stars and let them kind of feel out the game. And Big Hill is a great example of that. They kind of let them have some freedom to kind of just play off of instinct, and that's hard to prepare for. And so we're just gonna have to do a good job of taking what they give us and making sure that the uncertainty that they try to create doesn't throw us off our rhythm.
Still time to get something accomplished here.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes.
And I would say they're off the rhythm.
They'll give it to Butler.
The rhythm that we've seen. It's an interesting comment, though, from Nathan Rourke, because he's talking about Adam Bighill and how Richie Hall has designed the defense and really empowered his veteran players like Jeff Coate, Bighill, and Jefferson, too, have a little freedom. You know, they know their assignment, and they know Adam Bighill knows where he needs to be in the defense, but he can get there any way he wants, and that creates uncertainty when you're playing instinctively, as Nathan Rourke just mentioned.
2nd and 6 for Rourke. Looks to his right, now over to his left, has some time, can't find anybody. Now he's going to look for a deep shot down the field. Pearson's got it, and he'll take it all. What a play, what a throw, what a catch. Josh Pearson's first touchdown in the Canadian Football League. It's good for 66 yards.
Boy, the home crowd needed that, and it's a good crowd. It was jam-packed outside of BC Place Stadium for this heavyweight tilt, and Rourke gets lots and lots of time, and that's the key. He waits, and there you're wondering about Nathan Rourke's arm strength? That was right down the pike for 66-yarder on the money.
Pearson having an opportunity to slide in here and play with Burnham out. They moved Hatcher into the slot, and Pearson gets in behind Rose. Sean White out. Extra point is good. He's 18 for 18 on the year, adding on as the BC Lions, courtesy Rourke to Pearson, have some life at home.
As promised that Matt Dunnigan would barbecue. Instead, we've had to settle for delivery. The boxes are all over here. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they have also delivered what is easily their best first half of the season. We'll break it all down for you when we come back for the final couple of minutes. Here's Dustin.
Big play, Pearson, just a second catch of his career. They went for 66 and a touchdown. Now to be kicked off to Janarian Grant. What does Grant have in store for us here? Janarian Grant up to the 50. Grant's going to take it. There's a flag at the middle of the field as Grant goes back the other way. Janarian Grant all the way. Grant's going to take it down to the 10, to the 5, all the way home. There's a flag on the field. What's the call? This is coming back, I believe. Oh.
During the return, holding, Winnipeg number 0. 10-yard penalty. First down, Winnipeg.
We saw the flag early in the return.
Looked like Connor Burtonshaw right at the point of attack. He was holding, but that wasn't the number that they called, the officials called. I mean, this is a monster penalty, not only for the game, but for the $1 million.
For Pat Hill.
Yeah.
The 90-yarder that's wiped out. Let's get a look at exactly what happened here.
Well, the official said 0, and he's right in the middle of your screen right here. So you can see the outside, when the hands get to the outside of the shoulder pads and he's grabbing cloth and not allowing the cover man to get there. That was Kevin Francis.
The good news for Pat Hill is there's still another half, and Janarian Grant is dynamic. Polaris hands it off. That'll be a short pickup on first down.
Let's go back to the touchdown for the BC Lions and Josh Pearson on this post route. Couple of things, wondering why the safety has stepped up in Malcolm Thompson to leave Winston Rose all by himself on this deep post. Although with Nathan Rourke that far away from the other side of the field in the post route, I'm sure he just said, I don't think he can throw it that far. But Rourke got it done and dropped a dime to Pearson. Pearson on the sideline, by the way, went and said, this one's not over. Keep battling, that's what we needed.
Polaris dumps it off underneath, and there's another flag as this one will be brought back out to the 50. And is this coming back as well? I think it might be, as Wolotarski with a 28-yard pickup.
Michael Pass interference, Winnipeg number 83. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, we got Dalton Schoen, the guilty party right here with TJ Lee. Goes inside and can't do that. Trying to run what offenses call rub routes and defenses call picks. Picks are illegal. That's why defense calls them picks. Rub routes are legal. And that's the offensive terminology. But quite animated Michael O'Shea on the sideline at back-to-back penalties that took off big plays off the board.
2nd and 17 now for Winnipeg on their own 18. Collaros dumps it off underneath to Oliveira. He had to come way back to get the ball. Now he's going to turn it upfield. That'll be taken just out to the 20 and no further. Boy, they had some good pressure there on Collaros, and he eventually was able to get something out of what looked like would be nothing.
A couple of mistakes by the Bombers. A couple of penalties. They could have got that momentum right back, but as it stands, Nathan Rourke will have a little bit of time here. Maybe look for at least field goal range after this punt. Well, Zach Collaros, I think he's the best quarterback in the game in the last couple of years extending plays. I mean, I don't know of a guy that can use his feet to just extend plays and negotiate the pocket.
He's not a guy who's going to take off all the time, but he sure moves well in there with that footwork. Leggio, low kick, Ross takes it at his 45. Ty Ross back up over midfield. A pretty decent field position here for the BC Lions with 69 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and they've got some good protection up front. That's got to give Nathan Rourke a little more confidence that he had all that time to throw that deep wide side post to Josh Pearson.
Rourke, 8 of 13 for 154. Big time touchdown late here in the half. Had an interception on his first drive of the ball game. Starts on the Winnipeg 53. Man wide open, far side of the field. That's going to go for a first down. And Rhymes continues to have a day. That's his 4th catch. It'll take him out over 65 yards.
Yeah, veteran receiver, smart, get as much as you can and then get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
6 seconds, all that went off the clock on that play. Rhymes finding some space for himself, making the most of it.
Whitehead held the coverage.
On the 36, Rourke wasting no time to the end zone for Rhymes. He's got it! The Lions strike again. Rourke to Rhymes, his 3rd touchdown of the season, and the Lions aren't dead just yet.
After Josh Pearson's touchdown, he was on the bench walking and talking to anybody that would listen, saying, this is not over. This is what we needed, that spark, the touchdown, another deep ball. Rourke with the pump fake, and Dominic Rhymes at the top end just cutting underneath Nick Taylor to win that fight at the top of the route.
We knew this offense was explosive, but they had been contained for the majority of the opening half. But finally, Rourke with a couple of deep shots has us sitting with a 10-point game here in BC.
Well, let's take a nice look at Dominic Rhymes at the office. Here he goes. Now straight down the field. Nothing fancy about the route. He's just running that straight seam route, timing it up to, as Maverick says, throw on the brakes and let the other guy fly right by.
You had to sneak one in, didn't you? Their 2 touchdown drives tonight were 2 plays for 70 yards, 2 plays for 53.
Those 2 deep balls, though, one to Josh Pearson and that to Rhymes. See how Nathan Rourke puts so much air on the ball and drops it over into the bucket to those guys rather than try and throw it on a line. That gives them the chance to manipulate the top end of the route and find a way to get position. Back-to-back touchdowns, and the Lions are right back in this going into halftime. Now, can they contain that guy?
Not likely. I mean, with what he's done so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost at the point of squib kicking if you're BC and keeping it out of his hands.
24-14. 100-yard game for Rhymes, his second of the season. And they are going to kick it low.
They are.
And stay away from Janarian Grant. And the field position will be pretty good for the Bombers. But no threat of that one coming all the way back the other way.
Let's see Dominic Rhymes at the top of the road again, because he is going to time it up. Now, Nick Taylor is trying to look at his eyes and time his turn, and they're always just a step behind of the receiver. As long as you play it cool when you're down at the top there, just take a look, peek at it, don't give away that you're going for the ball, and then cut underneath. Veteran takes care of that. Now, Zach Collaros has 51 seconds to get at least into field goal range to get 3 more.
It's been a great first half, especially if you're on the over tonight. These two teams blowing it up offensively. Collaros hands it off, and that'll be pushed ahead on first down for a short pickup.
So if you're BC, you're in there at halftime talking about, okay, we got our offense on track, now defense, we got to stop the run. If you're Winnipeg, you're Michael O'Shea, you're going back in there at halftime and saying, guys, we're fine. We got the lead, great start, got the special teams going. Offensively, we made some plays. Let's just eliminate those 1 or 2 mistakes. The holding on a return that took 7 off the board to start with.
2nd and 8 for Collaros. 30 seconds to work. 4 receivers, wide side right. That's where he's going to look down the field for Schoen, and he's got it at the 30. Takes it inside, down towards the 25 as the Bombers bounce back with a big one.
Well, they're just playing a little four-man to the wide receiver, quad set to the wide side, and then who comes out of the bunch deep? That's what the Lions have to determine, and they've gone on Lucius Purifoy a couple times. And Ryan Phillips going, now you've given Zach Collaros a chance for a major shot to the end zone here. Take a shot, you're in field goal range already.
22 seconds to work for Collaros. Is he going to take a shot deep? No, he'll come underneath to Schoen, and Schoen has a first down. And takes it down to the 15 with 15 on the clock.
Yeah, even better chance here to take one shot to the end zone. Got to be efficient. Can't scramble around too much, but they're going to try and get this one called quickly and not lose precious time.
Collaros. Underneath, batted down, and that will fall incomplete. He was looking for Rashid Bailey, would have been his first catch of the game. Collaros wants a flag, and he's going to argue for one, but he's not going to get it.
Well, now you're in that bubble area. I mean, if Michael O'Shea wants to give it one more shot, go quick. You know, you throw maybe a fade route quickly right at the cone. If it's incomplete, it's out of bounds and no damage done. And if your receiver can get in behind, you get the major. But you got to be efficient. If he scrambles around here, he could lose a chance for 3.
Collaros with time ticking down in the opening half. That one will fall incomplete. Off the hands of Wolotarski. And with 4 seconds left, Leggio will come out to look to tack on 3 more.
Yeah, Zach Collaros knew exactly the situation. That's why he took that quick look, 1 step, hit that, drill it over the middle. If it's not caught, no damage done. But we got to do it fast and efficiently. He wasn't going to waste time and lose an opportunity for at least 3.
Interesting first half for the Bombers. Jump out to a 24-0 lead, then give up 14 points late. And now a chance for Leggio to end the half on a high note. And he will punch that one through. And Winnipeg takes a 27-14 lead. What a remarkable first half here.
Yeah, this is the heavyweight bout we were expecting.
The visitors are on top. BC hanging around, though. Let's send it to Farhan and the panel.
Wow, guys, poor Pat Hill.
A beautiful evening in Vancouver. The Lions trail, but it was Josh Pearson's first career touchdown that got them going, and he's with our Blake Price.
Josh, first career CFL touchdown, and that one is just like you drew it up, I'm sure. Talk about what happened.
It felt good getting the first one. Just stand on our P's and Q's. Coach drawing it up. Just trust the offense, trust the quarterback. Hey, good results gonna happen.
That was an important one, it seemed, to stem the bleeding. Do you expect bigger things in the second half?
Oh yeah, football played in 4 quarters, not 1, 2, or 3. 4 quarters, they had us down on the ground, but they didn't take us all the way out. We're gonna have a better half this half, and we're gonna come out with this W.
No stranger to points, this offense.
Oh no, we're not scared of no points. We're gonna put points on the board. Defense gonna take care of us. We're gonna take care of us on offense. We're gonna be good.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
He makes a great point. I mean, the offense can score. Defense is gonna have to make some plays here in the second half as well.
Yeah, and I think it starts for the Lions to stop the run on first down and put Zach Collaros in some tougher situations on second down, second and long, second and 10 or more.
Deficit is 13 for the Lions here at home, but they will get the ball to start the second half. Shai Ross waits for it back at his own 15. We've already had one kick return touchdown in this game. Another one would mean $1 million for Pat Hill. Ross takes it at the 15, now to the 20, up to the 30 for Shai Ross, and there's another flag on the play as Ross takes it out to midfield and beyond. But a flag on this return is going to bring it back.
Well, new plan. Both teams have to be told at halftime if there's already
During
one
the
kick return.
Holding. BC number 46. 10-yard penalty. First down.
No penalties allowed for the second one. We've had 2 tonight. One called back, and that one was very close, but would have come back because of the penalty.
Brings one all the way back down to the BC 20 after a nice return from Ross. He's called back. So Rourke gets the ball, 10 of 15 for 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an early interception in this game. He has clawed his team back into this thing, and now they will look for more against this Bombers defense. They'll hand it off to Butler, and really nothing going on the ground in the first half for BC.
Yeah, it's tough to run against this Bomber defense. They rank 3rd coming in after 4 games, giving up less than 75 yards a game along the ground. So tough to establish it, but the BC Lions have to keep with it.
2nd and 9 for Rourke. Bombers are going to bring 5 men. Rourke has it batted down. It comes right back to him, and now he's going to take off, but he's wrapped up immediately. And nowhere to go as that 5-man pressure from the Bombers gets the job done.
Yeah, who got the big paws up? I think probably it's either got to be Willie Jefferson or Jackson Jeffcoat. I would guess that it's. And inside is Willie Jefferson, and it was Jefferson.
Talked about his presence earlier in this game, and a couple of knockdowns coming into this game. Now the punt. Grant takes it at his own 39. Nowhere to go this time. Nice tackle downfield by Kevin Francis.
And you can imagine there was some discussions on cover teams for BC with Janarian Grant. What a first half for him. In fact, that final kickoff from the Lions after the second score, they kicked it away from Janarian Grant. They just squibbed it.
Gave up the field position.
Yeah, gave Zach Collaros 3 points before the end of the half.
Collaros, 152 and a touchdown. Running game going for sure. 99 yards on the ground in the first half for Winnipeg, averaging 78 on the season. Completion, close to a first down for Ellingson.
The linebackers are hugging the line for BC. This is the discussion they would have had. Like, get closer to the line of scrimmage. Purefoy on the outside, that 3rd linebacker, he does the same thing. So what does Zach Collaros and Buck Pierce do? We're going to throw it right behind the linebacker.
Adjustments, adjustments, adjustments.
Absolutely. The chess game goes on. So now Ryan Phillips, what's your move?
Second and just inches. Brown into the game, over to his right, and he's got a first down, takes this ball inside the BC 50.
The other thing you do, if you're Buck Pierce, you got to be thinking, if they're going to hug the line with their linebackers, then that'll put the secondary into man-to-man situations. Because if your linebackers are close to the line of scrimmage, they can't drop in zone in those underneath zones. So they're going to come up early to stop the run. And Zach Collaros has got one-on-ones with some pretty talented receivers and targets to go to.
Ellingson leads the way with 5 catches for 78 yards. In the slot to his quarterback's left is where he sits right now. He'll hand it off to Augustine, and Bonner wraps him up, takes him down after a short pickup, and that'll set up second and a little bit longer.
Yeah, big down here, but this is a nice play by Bonner to come down the line of scrimmage and just recognize it quickly, close that gap down. Good start to the season for the second-year player at Florida Atlantic.
Led the team last year in his first year with 5 sacks. Had a couple of sacks last week, his first 2 of the season. Second and 9 for Collaros. Augustine stands in to his right. Forced out of the pocket. Collaros on the run. He's going to try to do it himself. Down to the 40. It's going to be awfully close. Looks like he's just short. Needed the 39.
Quick recognition from Zach Collaros to see that he had the edge. Inside pass rush there. Nathan Cherry got caught, lost contain, and when he did, Collaros quickly recognized it and bounced outside to get it on his own. Or get very close to it on his own.
Third and just under a yard. Brown into the game again. Huge opportunity for the BC defense to do something big. Brown pushing ahead, and once again he's got it. Takes it down inside the 39, and this Winnipeg drive will continue.
Will continue and in field goal range as we speak. So good opening drive for the Bombers to start this second half and grab some of that momentum back that they lost with the quick 14 points from Nathan Rourke to end the half.
Well, one of the things that really helped them get off to a great start was they dominated time of possession in the first quarter and kept Rourke essentially off the field. And they put together a drive here. 6th play of this one. 1st and 10 on the line 39. Collaros up high. Wolotarski couldn't haul it in. And it does drop incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It's the dig route. Wolotarski had to get to that window. Inside release, and pretty good job of taking away that inside release by Gary Peters. Making it tough and sort of a little bit behind the pace of the play to get that inside throwing lane.
The Bombers keep this drive alive. Collaros under pressure. Hellenic trying to track him down. Now Collaros dumps it off. Al Oliveira just missed him. And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Bombers.
Well, I think the Lions defense will be disappointed that they ended up getting the stop, but they got it 10 yards too late because it's going to set up a field goal attempt. And possible another 3 points on the board for the Bombers, which is pretty much money with Leggio.
Perfect on the year.
Yeah.
Far cry from the start of the kicking game last year for the Bombers. Much talked about. Leggio on the 45 left hash.
Money.
And he has enough. Knocks it home again and remains perfect on the year. Rourke to get the ball with his team down 16. Long way to go in this battle of unbeatens at BC Place.
to BC Place. I called this the heavyweight battle to start the game, and the challenger was on the mat early. Interception on the opening drive for Nathan Rourke. The pressure was getting to him a little bit. Jeff Coate and Willie Jefferson in his face. And then he got things going with Dominic Grimes making a big catch. Got that Josh Pearson touchdown to get on the board. And then one more just before the half. So the challenger trying to take on the champs. He's getting up off the mat. He's still a little groggy.
Trying to hang around in this fight. That one a little too high for Whitehead. We saw in the group of highlights there, missed him over in that area earlier as well. Whitehead has just one catch for 8 yards in this game.
Yeah, I was going to mention that coming out of the half, that Lucky Whitehead has not been involved really in this offense. And one way to do that is just to throw him a couple bubble screens, things like that, get the ball in his hands. And
well, he could always take one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He could take it to the house from almost anywhere.
Grimes leading the way, 105 yards and a touchdown. Pearson just the one catch, 66-yard major. 3 receivers to the left here for Rourke. Jefferson bringing pressure right up the middle. Rourke stays on his feet now, scrambles out to the right, running for his life, throws it. And it will fall incomplete. Willie Jefferson's going to go over and say something to him. Looked like he had him.
Well, we say that a lot with Willie Jefferson. I mean, this guy is just outstanding defensive player. Look at that inside move on Joel Figueroa. I mean, just slap the hands away and inside right in the face of Nathan Rourke. Of course, the back end, Adam Bighill had dropped deep, so that would have caused Rourke to hold on to the ball a little longer too.
4th tune out of the game for the Lions. They had just 6 coming into the game all season. Grant on the return takes it back out to the 30. Jefferson shaking his head. He
got away. Yeah. How did he get away?
So close. Looking for his 2nd sack of the game this time. Rourke, very slippery, gets away. The ultimate race around the country is back. Get into an all-new The Amazing Race Canada Tuesday at 9/8 Central. Only on CTV. Set your PVRs so you don't miss a minute of it. Good atmosphere here at BC Place tonight. Good tunes, crowd's loving it. Good crowd on a late Saturday afternoon start. Collaros on his own 31. Some pressure. This time he gets it away down the field. And that is caught by Greg McCrae.
Wow, that's
listed as a running back. They've been using him in the slot, and this time he goes deep.
Yeah, that's a great catch for a running back. Clearly, he's got more of that. He can play slot back. You could play him at wide receiver. Great athlete. Runs that inside post, and TJ Lee can't cover it any better. That ball was thrown right where it had to be, so McCrae could block out TJ Lee.
Collaros closing in on 200 yards. 14-19 for 192. Hand it off to Oliveira, who cuts it back to the right. It's about half of what they need on that first down carry.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers just, I look at their games, all wins, with the lead here in BC on the road. It's a different journey every single week, but a championship team knows how to win. And we say that all the time, but what does that really mean? Well, there's a lot to it, but this team knows when they've got to show a sense of urgency, know when the play is important.
2nd and 6 here. Collaros gets away, stays on his feet as he falls. He's got a completion on the far sideline. What a play by falling Collaros. Gets it to Dalton Schoen for a first down.
And the big dog on the porch kind of saying, hey, you can talk all you want about other quarterbacks, but the best guy in the league's still right here. And I'm sure Bull Levi Mitchell's watching too, saying, hey, get me in that conversation. But you know what? That's amazing play by Zach Collaros. And that's a first down, new set of downs, and into field goal range. Again, knowing when it matters most and making it happen. That's what this team does.
200 yards on the nose in style now for Collaros. Augustine will take the handoff. Lee wraps him up. Williams there as well.
And we've seen quarterbacks get in trouble like this and then just throw it wildly to an area, and usually it gets them in trouble. But Zach Collaros not only had the balance, but he also understood that, you know what, I know where my guy is. And so on the way down, flips it out to Schoen and moves the chain. Just an incredible play. Nathan Rourke going, okay, I see you, champ.
2nd and 6. Pressure coming, Collaros to his right again, and he's got a completion again. Taken down inside the 10 as he finds Schoen, who's stepping up big here in the second half. Leads this team in receiving yards.
You just get the sense that they're going to work, right? That they're at the office. And watch Zach buy time and move to his right while throwing across his body to the left on that bang route back inside to Schoen. I mean, in complete control, putting the ball right where it has to be.
101 yards for Schoen. That's a new career high for the first-year Bomber.
You know, and all these drives in this time of possession keeps Kid Canada on the bench.
Very similar to that first quarter that we discussed. Rourke having to watch on, unable to get that momentum back that they had late in the first half, because Winnipeg has done an excellent job on both sides of the ball tonight here in Vancouver.
Well, he's going to have his ups and downs. We saw him bounce back against Ottawa. There's still lots of time in this game. And now all Nathan Rourke can do is hope his defense limits this to a field goal attempt. But, he's checked boxes in every start. And last week was coming back from adversity. Got it done. Might need a miracle tonight.
Delvin Breaux to the sideline. Hakeem Johnson slides in. Will work against Ellingson. One-on-one to the wide side left of Collaros. Collaros going to look this way. And it's a completion inside the 5 as he goes back again to Greg McCrae. 3rd catch of the game for McCrae.
Well, you mentioned 5 or 6 plays in a game that are the big ones. I would suggest this is one of them. Lions give up a major here. That's a pretty big mountain to climb.
2nd and goal from the BC 4. Brady Oliveira next to his quarterback. Collaros is going to be throwing here. Or is he? Scrambles away from some pressure. Has a man and it's caught. What a show from Zach Collaros as he goes back to Dalton Schoen. And the Bombers once again blow it open. Schoen's 2nd touchdown of the game.
Wow. Spinning out of trouble. On the run. Across the body. Schoen on the crossing route. He's going to keep working all the way across the field because he sees his quarterback in scramble mode. Look at the pre-snap motion, making it tough to determine which guy's got which guy in the secondary for BC, and then Schoen just gives him a target. But Zach rolling to his left, throws those shoulders around, and throws a dart to 83.
I know Collaros has essentially been near perfect since joining the Bombers, but there's been a lot of wow moments tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, just... and you expect it. He's been that good.
The reigning MOP, and he's putting on a show here in Vancouver. Dalton Schoen having himself a game as well. 2 touchdowns and 105 yards.
Take a look at this touchdown and see Zach Collaros, an inside move by Boom Guacham, which means there's got to be secondary contained by the Lions that somehow is lost. That looked like a stunt where Guacham was asked to go inside and didn't have a linebacker to contain Zach Collaros, getting outside, throwing while rolling to his left across the body, and what an accurate throw for a touchdown.
Finished off a 7-play, 79-yard drive. Winnipeg 3 of 4 in the red zone tonight. They were just 5 of 12 coming in to the season. Here's Ross, and Ross will take it outside the 42. No flags here, so that's where the BC Lions will start. They've got a lot of work to do as the Blue Bombers in full control. Lots of talk so far this season about Nathan Rourke, but Zach Collaros, the reigning MOP, he's put on a show here tonight.
Oh, he has. He has just calmed all that down and said, just hold on, everybody, before you start handing out the 22 MOP. Let me just show you how it's done. I mean, he has been on the mark, moving out of the pocket. Look at this play. Unbelievable for a key first down that ended in another touchdown. This one right here, rolling opposite way to his left, back across the body, an accurate pass to Schoen. Unbelievable for Zach Collaros. Well, not unbelievable, believable and expected. 18 of 23, 231, 2 touchdowns.
3 big catches on that drive by Schoen as the 25-year-old has got the job done this evening. They'll hand it back off to Butler, and this has really not led to anything tonight. Butler has been very good coming in so far, averaging about 5 yards per carry on the season, and just 14 yards tonight.
Yeah, and I would say in the matchup between Joel Figueroa and Kent Perkins I talked about early on, Willie Jefferson and Jackson Jeffcoat have been difference makers tonight. I know they often are, but the matchup we're going to watch.
2nd and 7 for Rourke. This one's up for grabs. Batted down by Nichols. There was some zip on that ball from Rourke. Off some hands, up into the air, and eventually down onto the turf.
Take a look at the matchup here. Figueroa, nice job on that block. That was tipped by Catoy.
Catoy does not have a catch so far here tonight. McClintock. The kick that will be taken cleanly by Grant, 47 yards. Grant puts his head down and lunges ahead for a short return. And Zach Collaros has been moving this ball extremely well, basically since the moment he joined the Bombers.
Yeah, I mean, 16-2, postseason record 5-0. Just nothing but winning from Zach Collaros since joining Winnipeg. He was that final piece to the puzzle. This was a good team, and then when he was dropped and started leading it, it became a great team and a championship team. He had some Mike Tyson in his prime-like power in this heavyweight bout early on in the CFL season.
Starts this drive on his own 25. They've only had to punt twice tonight. Ellingson goes up and gets it. He'll be wrapped up by Sales after a short pickup. 6th catch for Ellingson here tonight.
I'm not sure where we're at time of possession, but my guess is that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have owned it. You know, really, it feels like Zach's been on the field all game long.
They haven't been getting it in big chunks, right? They've been working their way down the field.
First half was the run on first down, get him in second manageable. This has been different in the second half, but same result. Long drives, time of possession.
Steady diet of 2nd and 4s and 2nd and 5s, which they're in now. And Wolodarski will get his hands on this one, and it moves the sticks.
Well, and you can't get pressure on those timing throws. You know, those are short throws. So you got a little curl, and when you get the curl, it's 1-2 throw. So you're not going to get there with pressure. Turn around curl right there, and when you're 2nd and 4, that gets you a new set. 2nd and 10, you're punting.
Augustine stands in there to the right of Collaros right now, 49 yards on the ground. They're going to give it to him again. This time, Purifoy is there and tracks him down, and that'll set up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, and this is a key play for the BC Lions right now to have any hope to crawl back into this one. Ryan Phillips needs to go deep in that playbook right here. What kind of magic act does number 8 have for this 2nd and long? Because
well, they brought some pressure and he's just got away.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a flash. I'm not comparing the two different players, but He's been a little flutie-like tonight, Zach Collaros.
With his escapability.
Yes. The way he's been able to keep drives alive, keep plays alive.
Collaros with pressure right up the middle. This time they'll get him. Quincy Mosier with his first career sack. A free look at Zach, and he got him. And the BC Lions defense making a play at the end of the third quarter. It's their offense that'll have to get going next as the defending champs look like the champs here again. 4-0 Bombers versus the 3-0 Lions, and it is the Bombers on top. 37-14. Look at that first down total. Right
Yeah,
now.
they could finish in this fourth quarter. They're really making a statement tonight. This red-hot team, BC Lions out of the gate, they're just taking them to school. I mean, 22 first downs to 7. The time of possession, not up there, but it's about double. Over 30 minutes for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, just over 15 for the BC Lions. I mean, Zach Collaros, best game, best running game for the offense tonight.
Certainly can control things on the ground, and they've got 100 more rushing yards than the BC Lions so far tonight. So the Bombers offensively been hitting it in a few different ways.
It all starts with this guy right here, though. I mean, yeah, this is their best rushing game of the year. Defense making plays, the bookends getting it done. But it all starts with Zach.
Leggio kicks this away from just outside his own 15. Ross takes it on the high shoulder, and now he's going to come up the near sideline with it. Shai Ross down to the 30, forced out of bounds by the kicker. And a good return that'll give the Lions some juicy field position here to start the fourth quarter.
Well, the key to this return for Shai Ross is to catch it in the air, first of all. Catch it in the air, and it looked like the cover team for Winnipeg thought it was a deeper kick than it actually was. Caught him off guard.
They brought him in because he's an athlete, and he showed it there. Great speed, excellent burst, and good field position. The Lions will start at the Winnipeg 31. No more room for error, trailing 37-14. Rourke's going to look for a big chunk right here towards the end zone. Come on! Get out of here, Rhymes! Are you kidding me? That's an all-timer as he goes up and gets it, and the Lions answer back.
Well, you know, on the sideline, they were saying, we got to take some shots, we got to get it. The clock is the enemy now, as well as the Bombers, and that's exactly what they do to start the fourth quarter. Throw it up to Dominic Rhymes, who's been great winning the jump ball tonight.
Second touchdown of the game for Rhymes, fourth of the season. They are down 17.
Yeah,
single would make it 16.
That's a two-possession game.
And they're lining up to go for two.
They're just looking at the overall number, 17. They're trying to get as many as they can each play.
Rourke keeps it, throws it, he's got a man, and he's in. Catoy gets involved, his first catch of the game. And the lead has been cut to 15. Don't blink here tonight at BC Place. Look at the hang time.
Oh, nice.
Rhymes goes and gets it.
Let's put the spotlight right there on a guy that's winning jump ball after jump ball. This is a stop and go route. He's just going to go down like he's going to run a curl. Pound those feet, but it doesn't really influence Nick Taylor. He's still high and in pretty good position. In fact, in great position inside. That's a Brian Burnham-like big play catch, elevating, selling out, and coming down with it to keep his team alive in this game.
Stretched out a bit, six catches for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns for Rhymes. So without Burnham, Hatcher had a big game. Now Rhymes is having a big game.
And Burnham said, yeah, I taught him that. I taught him that stuff.
They're going to squib it away from Grant, but it's a pretty good field position as it's brought all the way back up to the Winnipeg 50.
Yeah, that's the threat of a great returner.
That's how afraid they are.
Yeah, having a great returner on your team, you start to kick away from him and give Zach Collaros, who's playing outstanding, great field position because you're squibbing it forward. I mean, he doesn't even have to touch the ball anymore tonight, and he's influencing the game.
What do you think of that strategy?
Well, if you don't want to give up 7 to number 80, although there's someone in Abbotsford that, what was his name again?
Pat Hill.
Pat Hill out in Abbotsford going, kick it to him.
Not a fan of squib kicks tonight, I don't think.
Oh.
So Collaros gets it again. Got a 15-point lead, 13 and a half to play in the fourth quarter in this battle of unbeatens on a Saturday night. Augustine, right up the middle, right to midfield is where he stops, but a nice pickup on the ground again for Winnipeg.
Last time in this situation, Ryan Phillips went with safety blitz, and it worked. It was second a little bit longer than 5. And that really is the difference here. The safety, if you're going to bring him up, and it's only 5, a quick hot route from Buck Pierce and Zach Collaros can get you a new set. But I think the Lions have got to, at some point, Ryan Phillips starting to just let the guys play man-to-man press. And if they give up a deep one, they do, but play aggressively.
4 receivers to the right for Collaros. That's where he's going to look. There's a flag as he throws this ball deep for Bailey. He stumbled backwards and couldn't make a play on it. But it's going to be against Winnipeg, and that'll back them up.
Legal block, hands to the face, Winnipeg number 51. Penalties declined. It's 3rd down.
Hardrick again. He got hit with one of these earlier in the game.
And that's what Ryan Phillips did on that key 2nd down. They'll decline that penalty, but they said, we got to get up and play press. You get up on the line of scrimmage, your defensive backs, play man-to-man, and say, Zach, if you're going to throw it over top of us with all of us at the line of scrimmage, we're gonna just give up that, because that we got to take some chances and play aggressively. It worked for the Lions there.
Shai Ross awaits this kick just inside his own 10. Legio lets it fly from his own 45. Couple steps to the right for Ross, and he takes it cleanly. Jumps over a man, works his way back outside the 15. And Rourke and Rhymes have some time to make this thing close.
We know Dominic Rhymes. I mean, last year he only played in 8 games because he had an ankle injury, but he had over 400 yards. And you knew he was going to be a great target. But what a night he's had. I mean, it's been all Winnipeg on the field, but when they have got the ball, the Lions are using 19 effectively. And boy, some of his Burnham-like catches, like this one right here, cutting inside, and this baby laying out.
Rourke up high, and it's intercepted just inside the 40, taken away, and all the way back down the right sideline, and inside the 15, Donald Rutledge Jr. First interception of his CFL career, could not have come at a better time.
Well, overthrow is always a quarterback's nightmare because there's defensive backs there just waiting for the overthrow. And this time Malcolm Thompson just playing deep in the middle. This is an accuracy issue. He comes up and Rutledge makes the pick, but Thompson is in the middle, and he comes up underneath. Maybe it was Nathan Rourke trying to get it over top of his hands. That was the accuracy problem, and Rutledge back there. Again, Richie Hall putting linebackers back in the deep outside half.
Bombers defense makes the play again. Rourke watching on, thinking about that last ball that just sailed a little bit high on him. And Winnipeg now takes over on the BC 15 after a nice little return after the pick from Rutledge. Collaros, he's going to waste no time. Ellingson got him! Touchdown Winnipeg, Greg Ellingson. Third of the season. strike from Collaros.
Sudden change, and Zach Collaros knows again that very first play after a turnover is a big one to just take that momentum and go right after the touchdown. And this is Ellingson on a precise throw, keeping him in bounds. That throw just behind him kept him in bounds, so he didn't go out both feet. You only need one. He got both down. And the Bombers add to the score after the Rourke interception on the overthrow.
Collaros, 3 touchdown passes. Just 6 incompletions tonight. He's 21 of 27 for 259 and 3 touchdowns. Leggio out. And the extra point is yanked left.
A few years back, they moved the extra point back a little bit. It's not automatic anymore, as the Argos certainly know. But when you take a look at that corner route, beautiful little route after Richie Hall dialed up the interception on the overthrow. But watch nice low angle from just the outstanding player of this game, Zach Collaros, and maybe this week.
Not that every quarterback touchdown pass isn't a good throw, but his 3 throws tonight on his touchdown passes were perfect.
Yeah, and some in real difficult circumstances where he was throwing from different angles, throwing on the run. But if I was voting for player of the week, number 8's the top of my ballot. This is against the BC Lions, and somehow he loves playing against them. How about that? Wow.
Now
5-1. Almost touchdown interception ratio.
Woo. Might still tack on another 300-yard game here as well. He's 41 yards shy of that.
Champ is still champ.
11 minutes remaining. It
Champ
sure
is
looks
still
like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Tell you what, I know that Richie Hall has given Nathan Rourke a lot to digest as he goes back and looks at this video and this game over with. There's many times that Rourke has gone to the sideline and looked at that tablet and just get frustrated and shaking his head a little bit.
His return taken back just outside the 30 and no further.
He just dials up. He's got so many great athletes on that defense that he can play them in different positions. That last interception, yes, it was an overthrow and it wasn't an accurate throw from Rourke, but Donald Rutledge, the linebacker, had dropped into a 4-deep zone. He was on the inside quarter of a 4-deep zone. Rourke dropping back saying, why is the linebacker that deep? And then trying to hit Catoy and then just missed him over the top.
First 2 games, no interceptions for Rourke. He's thrown 4 in his last 2. Finds himself down by a bunch here. Has a completion. That'll go for a first down. And a lunge ahead from Catoy, who appears to be okay.
Yeah, and you just keep working at it. I mean, you know, this is the very beginning of a very bright future for number 12. Good decision here. Drop it off to his big linebacker, or slot back.
Now he goes to Whitehead. And Lucky Whitehead caught that and quickly ducked. It's just his second catch of the ball game.
BC
Guy that's
Lions
been contained.
started with Edmonton. Beat Edmonton convincingly in their first game, and then they had Toronto, another dominant win, and then Ottawa. So now they sort of rubber met the road here.
Rourke, Catoy again, first down again, and Catoy will take it down inside the 40, but he bobbles it, and it's scooped up by Houston. Winnipeg takes over, another turnover for the Lions.
See who popped it out of there. Is that Rutledge again, all over the field? It gets, yeah, he punches it with the left hand. 2 turnovers for 38 back-to-back series.
Rutledge came into the game tonight leading this team with 19 defensive tackles. So he has been all over the field. Has been training camp with the Colts in 2020 and Arizona in 2021. Lands here with Winnipeg and has fit in nicely at the age of 25. off to Oliveira, who pushes it ahead, trying to strip it away from him, but he's able to hang on.
Another valuable lesson for a young BC Lion team. Last week in Ottawa, they lost the turnover battle, came back and won. Pretty good offense and over 200 yards passing by Rourke after some big mistakes in the turnover department. But you play against championship teams, you play against the good teams in the league. You lose the turnover battle, you're going to lose the game, and they're down 3-0 here tonight.
Bombers came into this game with a +7 in turnover ratio. Let's tack on 3 more to that. Looked after it very well thus far. Collaros going to his right. It goes to Bailey, and basically called that the entire way, and Bailey with his first catch.
You know, this team, this Bomber team, they worked so well together. And even though you had some change, they lost Kenny Lawler and they brought in Greg Ellingson. But Greg Ellingson, a veteran who understands the game so well. I mean, their scramble routes have been outstanding. Finding a way to get open when Zach Collaros breaks the pocket or starts to negotiate the pocket with his legs.
Winnipeg moved the ball very consistently all night, having to punt it away just 3 times. Oliveira, pretty nice push ahead. This offensive line has done an excellent job getting a ground attack going that had kind of been stuck in neutral despite a 4-0 start.
Yeah, I think that really was a difference maker tonight. That offensive line set the tone in the first quarter. Really did, with those great runs on first down, getting 6, 7, 8 yards. It reminded me of the last 2 years. And they really set the table for Zach to go to work. But Zach Collaros has been just dynamite. Brilliant, as a matter of fact, tonight.
276 yards passing for number 8 in white. Tack on a few more as he goes back over the middle to Schoen again. And that'll put him well over 110 yards on the evening.
Again, when you're moving like Zach moves, whether it's retreating or side to side, or when you're moving, you have a different angle. You don't throw on time. You don't throw with that first step and open up your hips and your shoulders to rotate into the throws. Zach has done that so well, and that's what reminded me of Doug Flutie. He could throw it from any position his body happened to be in at the time. In fact, he even tweeted about this game tonight. Doug was watching down in the States.
People excited for it, no doubt about that. And it's the back-to-back champs who have made a statement here this evening. These 2 teams will play 2 more times, but not until the very end of the season. I think they play twice over the final 3 weeks. Both of Winnipeg's last 2 games are against the BC Lions. So it'll be interesting to see where the standings sit when they clash again.
Yeah, absolutely. The Calgary Stampeders are they're waiting for next week.
Well, that's interesting. We talk about the battle of unbeatens tonight. Well, next Friday, Calgary, Winnipeg. Guess what?
Another heavyweight bout. Calgary's looking good, man.
They're coming off a huge game on Thursday.
Procedure. Winnipeg number 51. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Hardrick caught on that one.
And there will be 2 veterans going at it there. I mean, that's Zach, who will be coming off his best game of the season. And I think one of the best games I've covered of Zach Collaros, and the way he's thrown the ball from all the different arm angles that he's been able to achieve. Just great accuracy tonight. And 43 points on the board. But Bo Levi Mitchell, after that last game, I was watching you guys call that game. He looks like he's back.
Well, they're coming in with over a 40-point game themselves, so next Friday should be a big one. Collaros, look at this little hop to his right. Eventually will just throw it away as they brought that pressure again, but they couldn't get to him. Very elusive tonight is Zach Collaros.
Yeah, and I want to be, clear. Like, there was only one Doug Flutie.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's thinking, did Suter just compare him to Flutie? You're saying there's some Flutie tendencies
yes,
there tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, it was Flutie-like in a lot of the things he did tonight.
That being said, he's back-to-back Grey Cup champion, the reigning MOP. So
yeah,
that's a pretty good run.
His resume is solid. Let's put it that way. And we showed you his win-loss record as the leader of this team.
Leggio has not missed yet this year. This one from 43. Left hash. To remain perfect! Ooh, I jinxed him. Off the uprights. My apologies to Mark Leggio. I feel awful. Excellent season for him. Does continue. Full control tonight. For more on that, let's send it down to Blake Price.
Guys, in a game like this, needless to say, there will be two different tones along the sideline here, but it's quite remarkable in the case of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It started early in the second half, the singing, the dancing, and after that last Ellingson touchdown, a turn and a wave to the crowd from a couple of members of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There's been some critique of how they got to 4-0 in their strength of schedule, but in this defeat of an undefeated Lions team, the Bombers may have declared that the Grey Cup Championship once again will go through them.
Certainly sending a statement tonight. Jefferson there getting to that ball. O'Connor now in the game at quarterback for the BC Lions.
Another knockdown, though, by Willie Jefferson is Michael O'Connor, the UBC Vanier Cup champion from 2015, gets a chance, former Calgary Stampeder. And, it's just to make sure that Nathan Rourke stays healthy and that Michael O'Connor gets, some valuable reps in case they need him sometime down the road.
He had some time here, and he's got Catoy. Catoy avoided a hit from Nichols and then was taken down from behind.
So another challenge, another different situation, and another journey that that Nathan Rourke is going to have to go on. He'll finish 16-25 for 278. The 2 interceptions, had 2 last week, and bounced back to win it. Not this time against the defending champ. So he's got to. This will be the first time he comes back after a loss as the Lions franchise player.
O'Connor with another completion. Goes back to Catoy again.
I always say that there's different boxes that you got to check when you get a new quarterback and you're trying to evaluate, is he going to be the real deal or not? And I think everybody watching Nathan Rourke is saying he's the real deal, no question. Now he's going to go through some highs and lows. Tonight was a low.
One of the biggest tests that he'll face here against Winnipeg, his defense. An interception on their first. They were moving the ball well in a response after that touchdown early.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Coate with an interception and kind of just got Winnipeg going, didn't it?
Yeah, that first drive just snuffed out, and then Zach Collaros took it the distance and hit Greg Ellingson on the corner route, and that was 14-0 because of Janarian Grant's opening kickoff return for a touchdown. So BC Lions chasing it tonight from the very first play of the game.
O'Connor out of the pocket, up for grabs, and that's going to be intercepted just outside the 50, and that'll be brought back down the right side and taken inside the 30 by DeMario Houston. Start to finish, dominance by the Bombers on both sides of the ball. Houston this time coming up with it. 6 coming up on TSN. We'll start on Thursday Night Football, presented by 7-Eleven. Touchdown Atlantic on Saturday. And Friday Night Football, the unbeaten Bombers.
I know.
Unbeaten Stamps.
I know. There's big games all week next week, but I'm excited about that one right there, because that one is the preview to a 10th team in that region in our country, in Atlantic Canada.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Come on, we got to make that happen.
Drew Brown in the game. They'll hand it off to Augustine, who takes it right up the middle. The last 3 Lions possessions ended with an interception, a fumble, and an interception. And it doesn't matter if you're playing the Champs or anybody else, that's not a recipe for success as we get a look at Brown, who came up big early in the season.
Yeah, when Zach Collaros was taken out of a game by the spotters, felt that he had a head injury, that he had to sit out a few plays, and Brown came in, finished it. Big drive for a game-winning field goal. That's what these reps are important for both Michael O'Connor and Drew Brown, is game is decided and they're still out there competing. Good valuable reps.
Collaros finishes just shy of his second 300-yard game of the year. Now Brown's going to take off. A little hesitation and a slide at the 25 with a $1:42 on the clock.
But I so think it can happen out in Atlantic Canada. I really do. I think, I've been out there a couple times in Halifax. And
there's a good buzz?
Great buzz. The tickets for this game this weekend sold out in minutes. They probably could have sold it 3 times. It's limited size of the stadium, of course, to play this game. But, if they could somehow work on getting the stadium out there and getting that ownership group back engaged, and I know they are. They already are, but
it's going to be kick-off. It's been discussed for so long, right?
I really think it's going to happen in our lifetime. I really do. In the next 5 to 7.
That's what you're setting the over.
Bold prediction. 5 to 7.
You have to put it in the middle at 5.5 or 6.5. This is how it works.
Okay. Let's make it 6.5.
All right, I'll take the under.
Up it.
Leggio. Whoa. Pulls that one to wide left as well.
Take it out here.
And they are going to bring it back out of the end zone. Shai Ross and Leggio misses a couple here late.
Put some of the D-line on the field goal protection unit. And speaking of Eastern Canada, Cadia product Jake Thomas. He's the guy who hit the big tackle right on the 1-yard line.
10-year guy with the Bombers.
Going to your stomping grounds, Jake.
They'll get it to Butler, a guy that was kept quiet tonight. One of the biggest dual threats so far this season in the league, and Bombers did a job on Butler this evening.
Well, Casey Sales and Jake Thomas, we didn't point it out tonight as much as we have in the past, but when you're controlling the interior of the line and the run game has nothing, that's how you talk an offensive coordinator out of running the ball.
Butler just 14 yards on the ground, 21 through the air. He was combined over 300 coming in. As that'll be enough for a first down for the Lions late in this one.
But what a game for the Champs. I mean, when you put 43 on the board, there's some game balls, there's some touchdown balls that have to be sorted out and make sure that tape doesn't come off, because got interceptions in there, you got touchdowns in there, you got Zach Collaros, who's brilliant tonight.
Every aspect of this game dominated
Timer, please
by
reset
Winnipeg.
The game clock to 46 seconds.
And sending
46.
a message maybe to the Calgary Stampeders that they'll be ready for them next Friday night back at IG Field.
Look at those 2 leaders, though. They got 43 on the board, and those 2 leaders of this team are saying, yeah, another day at the office. Went to work. It was a different journey than last week in Toronto, but same result. Got the job done.
O'Shea has told us multiple times, completion to Butler, but there was a flag back by O'Connor. But O'Shea's told us multiple times that the culture of this team is with its leadership group, right? And we just saw a good shot of the two.
BC number 54. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Yeah, early in the season when their offensive line wasn't playing at the standard they wanted to be playing at, I asked Michael O'Shea, I said, what do you say to them? What do you go in and say? He said, no, they'll handle it. And then that's all you need to hear.
He does make his job sound really easy, doesn't he? He always does to us.
Well, he had to build that. He had to bring the right guys in, and he had to put that all together in the staff and the coaching staff and everything. And then once that's established, then it is up to them.
Well, for some markets where teams are struggling this year, Winnipeg's a good example. Turn things around immediately. O'Shea came in, started building the culture, started bringing a roster together, and eventually it paid off. And now here they sit as the most dominant team in the league for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. And other teams have taken a different direction and making changes. But Michael O'Shea lost, and they had losing records in his first couple of years. That first year was a real tough one, but no one panicked. Kept it together, put the right people in the room, and then empower them to lead it.
What about BC? They're on a bye next week again. Good thing or bad thing coming off a game like this?
This is good. Yeah, they can regroup. They can take a long look at what went wrong, some of the mistakes, and playing against a championship team, this is stuff that he hasn't seen. Nathan Rourke has not seen some of the Richie Hall. Now I know he watched it on video, but there's always wrinkles. We've seen Adam Bighill, for instance, drop into the deep middle like a DB. I can't remember in recent history Rutledge doing it. So, again, Richie Hall mixing things up and adding little wrinkles that Nathan Rourke now can learn from.
Butler, last play of the game, run out of bounds. You described it as a heavyweight tilt off the top, and I guess the challenger is down for the count.
He's down for the count. The champs remain champs, and Zach Collaros put together just a brilliant outing.
A convincing victory for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. 43-22 your final. Zach Collaros, 288 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Defense, special teams, doing it all tonight for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. As a battle of unbeatens ends with the Bombers bursting the BC bubble on their way to a 5-0 start. Started 5-0 in 2019 and went on to win it all.